When you hear the term Italian sandwich, you might think of places like New York, Philly, New Jersey, Chicago. But what if I were to tell you, one of the best Italian sandwiches comes from the American South, specifically New Orleans. Now, lots of people put the po' boy on a pedestal, for good reason. It's a fantastic, delicious American sandwich. But you cannot sleep on the muffaletta, which I'm sure you're not because it's an extremely popular sandwich too. But I digress. Hands down, the most popular spot to obtain a muffaletta sandwich is at Central Grocery in Deli, which has been open since 1906. Yes, the place is very touristy, but they actually make a very good sandwich. This place is ground zero for this sandwich, right? Cold cuts and cheese, bare bones, that's it. But the star of the show, other than the bread, which we're gonna talk all about, is the olive salad or the olive tapenade. Of course, the meats too, very important. It's all important. It all kind of fuses together to create this awesome sandwich. It's the choice of what's inside this olive salad, you know, the temperature of the sandwich and which cold cuts are used that make each muffaletta in New Orleans unique. Central Grocery in Deli, cool, that place is great. Now the second place I got the muffaletta was called the Napoleon House. Another New Orleans establishment which was actually opened in 1914. And for all you wondering, that's just 2 years after the Titanic sunk, for a little context. I don't know why, but I can't forget the day, the year the Titanic sunk. Like, it's like a weird thing that's been seared in my brain since I was a kid, 1912. Can you imagine just me on the bow, or is it the stern of the Titanic? Just being grasped by Jack, spinning off the sternum motherboard. Ship terms. Do you know ship terms? You're a ship guy. You're a sailor.
Starport, motherbound.
We're motherbound for that iceberg. Oh, dude, but for real, yo, too soon. Aside from the charming aura and super rich history of the building, the muff was supremely tasty. It's too easy, dude. I'm gonna have to, you know the abbreviation thing is just gonna bite me in the ass this video. Now, this version of the muffaletta was different. It was warm, it was toasty, the meats were slightly different, the olive salad was slightly different. I really enjoyed this one. Matter of fact, my friends said they liked this one more than the original. I don't really know which one I liked more. I think we're gonna get to the bottom of it at the end of the video, so stick around, we'll try both. Let's make some bread. Into the bowl of a stand mixer, H2O, a whole lot of bread flour, yeastington, and now we mix. Gonna pop that on, dough hook, and we're gonna mix this together just until a shaggy dough forms. Just on low speed. Okay, that looks good. So we're gonna cut that, lower the shididdly, take this off, and now we're gonna let this auto-lease for about 20 minutes, which is just gonna make it a lot easier for gluten to form. Right? We have not added our salt yet. This is a very simple dough here. It's what we call a straight dough, right? So there's no fermentation involved. We're not using a starter. We're not using a poolish. This is bare bones bread, which means it's gonna be a little less flavorful than something that's very fermented. And it's also gonna go, you know, it's gonna get staler quicker. So it's something you kind of wanna eat day of, but I wanted to keep this bread super simple and approachable, but it's still gonna be fantastic. It will be fantastic for the muffaletta. So this is called an olive salad or maybe an olive tapenade, or where I come from, you can actually buy muffaletta mix, which is confusing because muffaletta is the name of the sandwich and the name of the bread and the name of the spread, sort of. So we got a lot of stuff here. We have an Italian spice mix, followed by capers drained and rinsed so they're not too salty, some canned artichoke hearts. I like the charred ones, and believe me, working with artichokes, kind of a pain in the ass. It's really nice to buy the canned stuff. But if you want to go freshy, you know, I'm not going to stop you. Be a hero. Then, of course, it's an olive salad. We got two types here. We got green, and we got calamata, or these purple, these dark ones here. Moving down the line, we got roasted red pepper, and then this giardiniera mix here. Now, we're going to come back to that in a second. Just to finish it off, the olive oil and the vinegar, because they should be tangy. Okay, so this is the giardiniera I'm talking about here. Now, everywhere outside of Chicago, which is where I live, when you see a giardiniera at the store, it might look like this, these big chunks of vegetables that are kind of just in this pickling liquid, almost like just vegetable pickles. Now, when you hear giardiniera here in Chicago, we get this stuff here, which is honestly my personal favorite. Of course, I'm biased, but if you were to try it, I would bet it would be yours too, especially if you like spicy food. So check this out here. This is just a more kind of like I guess, chopped up version with hot spicy peppers, with celery, and a couple other things that you might not see in this muffaletta mix, which is, with this giardiniera mix, which is peppers, carrots, cauliflower. I think there's a whole pepperoncini in there. This is more pepper based and it's stored in oil, so it's super flavorful. The oil's amazing to use too, but is the Chicago style version in many muffaletta mixes? Probably not, but we're gonna add a little bit today because I really like it and I think you will too. If you're not from around here, Chicago, you can get this stuff online too, super easily. I'll leave links below. In our trusty food processor, we're gonna go in with that drained giardiniera, not the Chicago style. Our other giardiniera, the Chicago style. We're gonna use some of those roasted red peps, artichoke hearts, capers, Kalamata olive, Grimbo olive, Italian seasoning. I'm not gonna put any salt in this because we have a lot of salty ingredients. Just to help loosen it up, a little bit of red wine vinegar. Now we're just gonna pop the lid on and process this up. We're gonna pulse this. I want it a little chunky. That's looking good. Oh! All right, now it's looking good. We're gonna pop that all into a bowl, and we're just gonna finish it off with some olive oil. Beautiful. Give it a nice stir-ski. Excellent. You could add as much or as little olive oil as you want. I've seen this quite moist. I've seen this dry. We're going somewhere right in the middle, a nice spread. And there she blows. Muffaletta mix, olive salad, olive tapenade, whatever you want to call it. The tapanades at the Italian grocery in Deli versus Napoleon House were a little different. So for our classic OG Italian grocery in Deli, we're just going to use our regular tapenade here. But for the Napoleon House, we're just going to mix up a slightly different one. Very similar, little extra additions here. So we're just going to take some of our mix here, but I'm going to go for like half, I guess. It looks good. Then we're just gonna add in some chickpeas that I just ran through once with my knife, and some chunky Robusto green olives. I noticed in this tapenade, these two things were there, and I mean, I remember taking a bite and seeing the chickpea and being like, whoa! Napoleon House olive salad type beat, sort of. All right, whoa! The bread has auto-leased. I'm gonna reattach this MFing dough hook, plop that upwards, then we're just gonna pour that salt in, and run this until the dough forms into a smooth ball. Yes! Now we're just gonna take our dough here, form it into a ball at the end, kind of close that up, squeeze it, boom. And then we're just gonna shape that into a nice, neat little ball. Fantastic. And this can go right into your favorite container where it's going to proof at room temperature for about 2 hours. Okay, a couple different ways we can go about doing this. If you wanna make this the same day, you're gonna leave this out at room temperature for 2 hours. Then you're gonna take it out, you're gonna put it directly in the pan, press it down with your little fingies, right, the pads of your fingers, in the dish that I'm gonna show you in a second. And then you're gonna let that proof another hour or so, and that can go right in the oven. For best results, remember this is a straight dough, not a lot of flavor. So we're gonna actually get a little bit more flavor and easy fermentation and even proofing by doing this. This is some dough that I made yesterday. Look how proofed that is. Same thing, I let this proof at room temperature, then I popped it in this here deep dish pizza container. This is a Lloyd pan, I forget how many inches, but I'll have a link for this in the description below if you wanna pick one up. Awesome little pan, you can cook vegetables in it, pizza, all sorts of stuff. Great for bread, obviously. So I just pressed that in, covered it up, and let it proof for 24 hours in the fridge. So you can see here, it bounces back nicely. That's ready to go right in the oven. Boom. So yeah, this can be a 2-day process for making the bread, which I understand can be annoying, but like I said, you can do it in 1 day, but I do recommend having a little bit of patience, having the foresight to kind of do this. It's worth it. So now I'm going to take some egg wash here. These are egg yolks mixed with a little heavy cream, right? And we're just gonna brush, oh so gently. And this is going to give our bread a nice color and is going to help our sesame seeds stick on. Yes, this is a sesame bread, very important that we sesame seed it up. Cool, beautiful. And now we're just gonna hit this with sesame seeds all over. You can be generous with these because many will fall off. Looks good to me. Boom. And now it's ready to go into the oven. This is going to go into a preheated 350-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. We're gonna watch it. So, middle rack ski, or upper middle rack ski. Boom. All right, looking nice. Check that out, guys. Beautiful. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Very sesame smelling. So a fun little tip here. If you take your bread out of whatever you cook it in and let it cool, it's going to get crustier and crispier with time. If you want a softer bread, you let it cool in whatever vessel you cooked it in. That's gonna kind of like, as it cools down, just remain squishier. So what we're gonna do, just as this thing cools a little bit before we slice into it, I'm gonna do a half breed here. I don't want it to get soggy on the bottom, so I'm leaving it on this rack, but I'm gonna take this vessel and put it right on top. And now we're gonna have sort of like a halfway soft, halfway crusty, but still nice and, I guess, easily squishable, but with a crusty exterior loaf. All right, now we get to cut this beast open. It's kind of easier to, when you're working with something that's massive, to try to start in the middle. I'm gonna kind of make it so my knife hangs off the board so I got some clearance for my hand. And I'm just gonna kind of work through, but instead of going all the way across, I'm going to come along the inside and kind of rotate the bread. And there we go. Soft and squishy. Smells good. Feels good. Looks good. All right, first loaf is cut through. It is TTB. Time to build. The OG. Got some good old olive oil here. I'm just gonna lay this into a big sheet tray, like that should be good. Because this is a cool trick that I actually picked up watching Chef Isaac Toups. He's a Cajun chef from New Orleans, from New Orleans, and is a beast. So I kind of like his vibe. So we're just gonna take this, just kind of hockey puck that all in, and boom, we got a nice little like base coating of olive oil there. We'll take that second one and we will rinse and repeat. Nice. Cool. So you kind of have that oil kind of starting to soak in. It's gonna give us a nice base. For the OG Italian grocery and deli inspired sando, we're gonna start off with some good old Americano ham, sliced thin. Then we're gonna go on with the provolone cheese. Our next meat is good old Genoa salami. Now, I'm a fat kid for salami, so I like to put a lot on my sandwich, but remember, this is your sandwich. You can put on as little or as much meat as you like. So we're layering the meat and cheese here. The next cheese is Emmental or Swiss cheese. We're just gonna hit it with a single layer like so. And the final meat is good old mortadella with pistachios in it. You can use regular mortadella without the pistachios. I like the one with the pistachios. It's just kind of like an Italian bologna. The final step is to add mounds of olive salad, right? Really try to get this edge to edge so it's nice and even. Now we're gonna drop the lid on. Whew. Look at this monster, dude. The sandwich is known for being able to feed a crowd, right? You're gonna cut this into quadrants. So pray for me here. Going down the middle. Oh. Oh yeah, let's check out a piece. Dude, let's go. That thing is meaty. Definitely a lot meatier than the one that I had in New Orleans, but let me tell you, I'm not bummed about that. All right, so the original is built out and ready to go. Let's get started on the Napoleon House adaptation. It's a little different, but this part is the same. We're gonna start with ham. Just layer that on like so. Then Genoa salami once again, followed by our pastrami. This pastrami is just from my deli. I had them slice it thin. Now we're adding all the meats to the sandwich first because we're gonna do something cool to the sandwich, which kind of makes it what it is. Now the second half, AKA the lid, starts with cheese. Matter of fact, it's only cheese. So here we got our provolone and our Swiss cheese, which we're gonna layer on stack by stack here. Again, trying to fill this edge to edge. We don't want any bald spots. All right. So the Napoleon House muffuletta is different than the OG because it's served hot. What does that mean? We gotta pop this stuff in the oven and give it a nice toast. We got our cheese on one side, which is gonna kind of melt into the bread all nicely over here. And then we have our meat over here, which is gonna slightly render, really just kind of warm through a little bit. Then we're gonna pop some olive salad on top, marry the two. It's gonna be a great time, but we gotta get these in. And I'm not setting a time. The oven's at 350. We're just gonna watch it till things get melty. Yeah. Oh yeah. Roasty toasty. Beautiful. So now I'm gonna take our Napoleon House inspired olive salad, pop that all over the tippy. This is very satisfying. You know what? No, more. More! I'm going maximalist muffaletta. Cool. And the cheese hat is going on. Oh, yeah. Love that. Look at that reverse cheese. I got this. Oh yeah, we're making it work. You're gonna wanna go around and reverse all your cheese, very important. Let's cut into this boy. Quadrants. You can hear the crispiness. And commence. Ooh, a little bit of a hot muffaletta situation. Both muffs are ready to rumble. Fighting out of the blue corner, we have Italian grocery and deli, the cold situation. Out of the red corner, we have the Napoleon House inspired hot muffaletta sandwich. I think we gotta start with the OG, right? All right, this thing is a monster. Definitely not that loaded when you go get one from the spot, but when you're at home, you have fun with it, you know? Where should I go for this guy? I'm gonna show that it is possible to do this. Yeah. If the grease ain't dripping from your goatee, I don't want the sandwich. Do I have a goatee? No. Who's famous for having a goatee? What's that actor's name?
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke. Shout out Hawke. He might have a hard time with this, but I certainly did not. I mean, that is the exact flavor profile and temperature that I think of when I eat a muffaletta. Delicious. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's move on to this boy though. So I'm not gonna lie, when I was there, I tried both of these. And in the moment, I kind of liked the cold classic more than the warm. But I don't know, this is looking good. It looks like the bread got a little more of a rise on this loaf too. So I'm going right up the gut again. I really like that one right now. I don't know, it's a little softer, and pastrami is really nice on there. Again, the main difference here being this one's got pastrami, it's all melty. The olive salad is slightly different. It sounds crazy because there's so much in that olive salad, but you can get that taste and texture from those larger olives, but more so from the chickpeas. I think it's a nice touch, super creative. These are both fantastic sandwiches, both great in their own regard. This is a little nuts. I think I'm gonna have to switch things around. Right now, I enjoyed this bite a little more than the original, but there's no right answer here. I mean, catch me at a different time, at a different day, and that might change. Now, of course, I liked the warm one today, but let us know in the comments which one you would prefer. Or better yet, if you're in New Orleans local, let us know if there's another spot that you like to get your muffalettas from, right? These are two very popular spots. They're delicious and awesome, but I would love that insider knowledge. Start the convo. TY so much for watching until the end here. If you liked the video, if you're planning on making a muffaletta, like the video, it helps us out. If you're new to the Chansky, subscribe to the Chansky. If you're not new to the Chansky, welcome back. The best way to support us is over on the grocery fund, aka the Patreon. Helps us make the olive salad, cut the muffaletta, consume said muffaletta. But if you can't support, that's totally fine too, no worries. Come say what up in Discord. We're chilling and chatting. We're talking about a lot of stuff. I do giveaways in there every now and again. If you love to cook and you want to talk about food with like-minded individuals, come on in, introduce yourself. That's all I got for you this time. So until next we meet, take care now.